Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey, guys. All right, today we're going to talk about the biggest piece of crap of a design built by Sony. And they didn't learn their lesson on all the previous models, so we're going to talk about this today. So this is when people get machines like this, they'll understand why they're having issues. Today we're going to talk about the Skew. It's basically for the tension of the tape and also the way they designed it and all kinds of stuff. All right, as you can see, I got the machine open. We just got done replacing. This is the actual drag band. Okay, I make these custom. It's sort of like a leather material in place of that felt material they use. They use this it's like a leather material. It doesn't wear out like the felt does, and it's got better tension on the drag when you're using this type of material. This is a solution I came up with for replacing these drag bands. I make my own custom ones because, there's felt on here that grabs around the spindle to keep your tension. And then you got your little tension skew that you turn to get the right tension for your tape. So anyways, we replaced the drag band with a custom, it's sort of like a leather material that I use to make these to replace this drag band. This goes for the AV8650, AV8600, AV3650, AV3600, and the AV5000 series. They all use the same crappy design with the drag band like this, and the crappy skews that they designed on these that are always broken. They will spin and spin and spin and spin because they're complete crap. This is the worst thing Sony could ever done. If they fixed anything on this model, the biggest thing they should have focused on was a better design for the skew and the drag tension band. If they would have came up with like a rubber stopper and you had maybe like a little knob that you turned and kept the tension in place or something like that, would have been way better of a design than what they came up with. Panasonic came up with a really good tension design on theirs where they used a drag band, but basically they used a slider type of thing. It didn't have plastic gears and all that crap in it that would break, which obviously with common sense and age, anybody knows anything plastic and its gears, it's going to crack or break due to age. So anyways, as you can see, this is where you turn your little tension if that, gear was in place, and that would turn this arm to give you tension up against your tape. So we solved one problem, making better high quality drag bands or tension bands for these, which are very similar to the ones they did on the 3/4 Umatics. The material wise, they switched over to the same type of material. So I did the same on my drag bands for the EIAJ machines. And basically when you hit this, it would basically go up against the tape and give you your tension to keep tension on your tape as it's spinning through the machine. Now the biggest problem is, here's your mechanism. Okay, this is your skew mechanism that goes right there. See that little plastic gear at the bottom? See the crack in it? That's what happens to these. When people start spinning these, and after a certain period of time, they will crack and break. And that's exactly what happened to this one. So, we're going to have to come up with some solutions. Yes, I know what everybody's thinking out there. Maybe I can get somebody who knows anything about 3D printing and make me some of these. If you're one of these gurus that knows how to make gears in 3D printing and knows how to make some really good ones, let me know. I could use some help. I do need some gears made. I'd like to get a good stack of these because every AV unit that I get, every frickin' time the gear is broken, and I do not have replacements for these. So maybe out there somebody is a guru with 3D printing, maybe knows how to do this. I mean, I could order them online with one of these gear places, but it's extremely expensive to do that. I would need probably just 100 of these just to have enough on hand. Maybe somebody out there knows how to do this. 3D printing, I could use some gears. Maybe you're a guru and you know how to do that type of stuff. Anyways, this is the biggest problem with Sony piece of crap design. They the gears would break on the Skews, and then you can't turn your little knob to get the right tension. And that's all part of the Skew assembly, which is this right here, as you can tell. And this happens on every Sony machine there is. The Sony AV3600, 3650, 8650, 8600, AV5000 series. Every model that Sony made had that broken gear problem, and there is no replacements for it. So the only solution to it is I'm going to have to get some made. If I can just get the gear made, fixing the rest of it's simple. I just need to get some gears made, and somebody out there might know how to do this. But I need like 100 of these, and if you love my work and you want to make a contribution in that way, it would be a beautiful thing. And I'm sure I'd show you some love down the road there for your trouble for helping me out with that. But I need somebody who knows anything about 3D printing or knows how to make some gears. I can order these online at these places, but they want unbelievable amount of quantities and prices. I just don't need that many of them. So maybe somebody out there knows how to do it. But this is the biggest problem with these mechanisms on these machines. For the Skew, every time you get a AV series, 3600, 3650, 8600, 8650, or the 5000 series, you try turning the Skews and you're screwed. And that's what controls your tension. So we solved the problem with the drag band or tension band. I make custom ones out of special material, which are fantastic. So this problem I was able to solve, but now I'm working on the problem for the gears. So hopefully somebody out there can help me. But that was one of the biggest problems with Sony and their designs of these AV series. The rest of the mechanisms ain't that bad. It's just basically it's the Skew design, which that's why I hate about these machines. And can't fix them, so you can't keep the proper tension on the tape. So hope you guys enjoyed this video.